Hello everyone and welcome. I'm AceHawk, or otherwise known as Kiv, and in today's video I just wanted to talk about the weather effects in the Battlefield franchise, more specifically Battlefield 1, and why I think we should be doing something about them, because I'm not the biggest fan of them, so I wanted to make a video saying why I don't like them, and possibly some things we can change for the Battlefield 2018 game. But anyway, let's get right into it. So I'm coming in over here, and the fog is kind of receding, which is great, because I hate the fog. Sandstorm is worse, but the fog is, not great either. So, the fog, when it is there, you can't see anything unless it's closer than 30 meters. The sandstorm is even worse. I think you can, like, maybe you have 15 or 20 meters of vision. Except for that, it's just all sand and looks blurry and you can't tell anything from anything. I mean, you could be walking into a tree and then, oh no, it turns out it's a rock. You just can't see anything. But the problem I have with weather effects is that it is bad for all the classes, and it's just not any form of viable at all for the game. I mean, it doesn't provide a good challenge and it doesn't provide good gameplay. It just makes things painful and just stupid, because I mean, you're playing sniper, and then sandstorm hits, you're basically useless. And if you manage to stay alive, no worries, that's great. You can spawn in as another class, but you still won't have any form of fun, because sniper class, your biggest advantage of extra range is gone. As a medic, you work really well in medium range, but half of your range is kind of unavailable because you can't see anyone in that range, unless they're super really well spotted. Support class, usable, but LMGs are slow, and so if someone's rushing at you, you may not see them until they're already on top of you. Assault is okay, and you can do well at close range, which is why it's your best option, but you're going to be charging in. If you are charging in at the enemy, you're going to be running at them blind, and you have no idea what you're running into. So yeah, it can be a bit problematic to say the least. So DICE's weather effects idea kind of came off of Levolution, because kids would always be strapping C4 to the, cement blocks on the skyscraper or whatever and blowing it up on purpose so that way the skyscraper falls down in Battlefield 4, but that's why it was a bit problematic and stupid, because it's just like, okay, this looks good for reveal trailers, but wow, you're actually, playing this game every day, it just happens too much, and it's just like, okay, well, it's kind of pointless, it always is going to happen, so why is that even a thing now? But that's why DICE said, okay, we'll put in something that you guys can't control, and now it's just something that's not good, because we can't control it at all, and because it affects the gameplay in a bad way, and it just makes things hard to see, it's painful, you don't know what's going on, it's just everyone's kind of rushing around the map with a blindfold on. So, yeah, not easy. Now, I don't want to just sit here and complain the entire time, because that doesn't really fix anything, now does it? So that's why I wanted to just say a couple of solutions. For Battlefield 1, doesn't really matter right now, because the game's just really late in its life cycle, almost over, and the main focus is going to be on this year's game. In terms of the next Battlefield, I would say if they want to keep the weather effects in there, that's okay. However, you gotta put in some controls here, DICE. Use the CTE of Battlefield 1 and try and talk to the players and community, get something to work, because the main problem is that you can't see anything. So the easy solution is just make it so that things are easier to see, DICE. Just, if you really want, tweak the settings so that way all of the smoke, sandstorm, fog, whatever, rain is just easier to see through, or if you really want, give each of the classes their own kind of range of vision, so that way the snipers can see longer distances, because otherwise you can't use a sniper rifle. Make all of the classes more viable, so that way you don't end up just sitting in a corner and camping away the entire weather effect. If you can also kind of implement the weather effects on perhaps maybe a smaller scale, then maybe that would work as well, because instead of having the huge sandstorm across the entire map, maybe make it so that way it's like an actual sandstorm that moves through the map, so that way you're sitting there in the spawn-in screen and you can see the sandstorm, and it's just kind of traveling across the map, and it can maybe go through a set course, so that way it's easy for you guys to put in, or maybe if you guys can, you can just kind of change every time a little bit to have that extra variability that you guys get just such a hard-on for. So yeah, I would say do something like that, so that way the players that enjoy the map normally the way it is can still play on it in some sections, and then the players who don't really mind can just kind of just be playing wherever, because that way you can see where the sandstorm is, or the fog, or the rain, and you can just kind of play in those areas or not. It's up to you. It gives the players the choice, and you can maybe do something to tweak how long it lasts for, or the size, and just try and make it so that way it's more entertaining, and then the area around it can be kind of, more foggy, or more, cloudy and misty, but not as big, so that kind of introduces you to the different environment. It's not just you take one step and it's just suddenly everything's full on raining. But yeah, I think that might be a good way to go about it, but that's just kind of my ideas. I'm not sure if that would work, but yeah, that's just about it from me, guys. Hope you all enjoy this video, and I'll catch you all on the next one. I've been Ace Hawk, or otherwise known as Kiv, and I'm out.